our recording session from 4/3, April 2017, which was a Monday. So SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500, long-term uptrend on the 1-year daily chart, coming into the 3-month daily chart for the intermediate trend. We are, gapped up to all-time highs. Since then, have been swinging back through a prior support level, making lower highs, lower lows. So we've come to test this prior support level and try to test below it after coming up to test from above and then below. And it's kind of closed near the low of that and looking slated to open lower today. So could be a potential lower high, potential lower high. It kind of looks like a change of character move. So intermediately, this could be change of character, signs of weakness, coming back down from the all-time highs, but it's kind of, still, we're getting back outside this range. I'd say that the weakness is taking over there. So top 3 market movers, NVCR. NVCR is healthcare sector, medical instruments. So long term, it's kind of going sideways. You could argue a downtrend, but recently since August to April, just kind of going sideways. So what we get is a big gap up in pre-market, and the pre-market is showing today's pre-market, so it's not going to help us any. But just showing this gap, it's just like, I don't trade large gap ups, so I shouldn't be trading large gaps up. They don't really, they're not my wheelhouse. So, not a great trade here for me. So a big gap, maybe you could say into a prior resistance level. Could say a gap there. But generally I don't like trading gaps. This is a penny stock, and if you took that fade, maybe there was something off the pre-market, but I don't want to be trading gaps. So IDXG was the other one. Big picture. This is a penny stock healthcare sector as well. So healthcare is in play. Former runner, obviously had this huge wide range day, but aside from that, it's just kind of been like, mulling sideways. So coming to the recently, just kind of like, going sideways. So it looked like, maybe this could be forming a small base. We got a reverse split in the background. Volume's coming in. So I had an alert set for this day, broke out, closed back below. So, not even messing with this down here. So it's not even worth taking a look at. It was just the only other stock that was doing relative volume in pre-market that would have made it tradable. So obviously in pre-market, we're looking to trade stocks that have, tradable volume. I'd say over about 500,000 shares done in pre-market's about what I look for. Let's talk about my trades today: the good, the bad, the ugly. Kites, pharmaceutical and biotech sectors. So let me get rid of a lot of these lines because they are just distracting. So, biotechs and healthcare have been in play lately. What I had noticed on the big picture, we've been going sideways, gap up on volume, made higher highs, higher lows, intermediately. Going sideways at the all-time high, and then we spilled down, change of character, and then consolidated the midline. So what I was really looking for was this breakout of the midline. These overlapping days really nice, kind of setting a breakout. Unfortunately, we gapped up higher. That's kind of out of my control, but I was thinking, failure into this level. I wanted to see failure here, but as always with gaps, probably not best to trade these on the open. I really have to let the weakness show itself first. So, I got in here and I shorted, right in here somewhere after we failed up into that resistance level, and then we're holding below a bit below the level. So, maybe you want to see more time spent below this level, or something like that. I gotta be thinking like later in the day. This is where a good trade's got to set up. So, so like you can see, maybe it starts to work. You get stopped a couple times with the big picture ideas there. So I had a big picture idea, but I didn't trade it so well. My entries weren't so good, and this is a gap. So I have to really let it prove itself if I'm going to be trading a gap. But the big picture idea is weakness in the background and gap up into a prior resistance level. So I do like that at least. My next trade was HTGM. So big picture here, we're going sideways. This is healthcare, diagnostics and research. So that's the sector and the So penny stock going sideways, blasted up in this huge wide range only to 52-week highs. Ever since then, we've been making change of character down, potential lower high. So I was interested below this previous pivot low on 329. It's coming into the 5-minute chart. So we open lower, but we test up, which is good. We get below this level, and then pull back. So I got short, actually on the break of this the 4-minute, or excuse me, the opening range low, which was actually below the prior day's low. So, or below the previous 3 days low. So that's kind of like a level that I was working from, or excuse me, the previous 2 days low. So this day and this day's low, and so this would make the 3rd day low. So I got short the opening range low right here, and my stop was just above VWAP. Initially it was here, I moved it down to VWAP, so held this for a little bit, so it was a winning trade. Nothing to break the bank, but I was risking 6 cents. Call it initially, 17 cents, so this is still 2 to 1. But if you keep a closer stop, your risk reward's higher. So HGM, not a bad trade. Full Covell. Fuel, big picture, penny stock, advertising company that's gone parabolic, trading 52-week highs. Coming off the 52-week highs after some basing action and going parabolic. So intermediately, we had its wide range day on the highest volume. Tried to test out, break out to all-time highs again, closed way down off there. And it's kind of like these last gasps of these like little narrow range bars into the previous high. So we break there again intraday. You can see that we had a double top. So we open up, double top, and then change your character through there. So this is the point to be shorting this. And I was late and I didn't short right there. I chased way down here. So actually probably more like down here. So this was a terrible entry. The idea was good, but the trade's already over. So I'm definitely chasing the move there. And you can see, the same trade I made on the next stock we're going to talk about. So, fuel, awesome trend trade for the day, but, I traded it poorly. So you're not going to make money if you're trading good stocks poorly either, even if you're trading good stocks. So LL, Lumber Liquidators, is a real company. You say it's a slight uptrend, but I'd say it's going sideways for the past, year or so. Slight uptrend, but, recently we had a high volume day to put this on the radar, making higher highs, higher lows since then. And then this is the day that caught my attention, just this holding below this level is a 52-week high, and it's a narrow range day before, intraday or, recent uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. So, volume puts it in play, and then obviously break out to 52-week highs on volume. So a continuation isn't the most likely scenario, but, it's good to be buying stocks with volume at 52-week highs. So come into the 1-minute chart about the open, we open lower. We don't go up a hell of a whole lot, but, it doesn't spike up $3 in the first 5 minutes. We just open up, go up a little bit, have a nice control pullback. So another higher high, another higher low. So at this point, we have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Intraday uptrend. So you could buy anywhere in here, with a risk just below here, so risking 22 cents, and you have a pretty strong winning day. So that's where you're risking. You make 80 cents, so 4 to 1, nothing to break the bank. But the thing is that we are trading uptrending stock at 52-week highs that is coming off volume in the background, kind of going sideways, building power, no resistance overhead. So put a lot of the principles together with it, couple that with an intraday uptrend, it's a pretty good trade. Talk about some other good trades that I missed. Talked about my Friday video. Tesla was one of my top ideas, and I fucking didn't set an alert, so I don't deserve to trade this shit. So Tesla, big picture, was kind of going sideways, but recently we have been in an uptrend, as demonstrated by higher highs, higher lows. I would say in the past, past like couple months, just kind of going sideways, but there, still like some nice trading days in here where we get some overlap. So when I saw these 4 sideways days, kind of like compression leads to breakouts, and I didn't have my alerts set here, so we gap up to just beneath the 52-week high, and test down. Excuse me. So we test down right off the open, right, which is good for buy. So if we open up, I really like to see a test down first, see if there are any sellers, maybe, get it, we're this high up above the prior day's close. So like if anybody's willing to sell there, any scared longs, right? And then we get up above the opening range high and consolidate there. So let's look what that looks like when we zoom in. So open up, just kind of chop sideways. There's really no This test lower, like, if sellers were strong here, they would have pushed this back into the prior 52-week high, I believe. So kind of go sideways. That's showing strength, price acceptance at higher prices. Volume starts coming in on this blast up, and then we go sideways right here. So this is holding above the opening range high after 945 and 52-week highs after 4 days of overlap, setting up a breakout in an uptrending stock. Tesla's a big fucking mover that everybody loves Elon Musk and shit too. So it's just like a positive stock that market dollar and people love to trade. We're just gapping outside of Keltner, so we've got some room that we could keep running. And then so you risk, you risk right in here, and you hold to the end of the day. So it's $9. If you're risking, $1, even down to VWAP, if you're risking $2, it's still a 4-to-1 trade. If you have a tight little risk under this flag, which easily you could have done, risk 70 cents, even $1, 9-to-1. So making good risk reward trades. AMCN. So this is a marketing, consumer cyclical marketing company, I guess. They just big pictures. We've been going sideways. It's a penny stock, right? We've been going sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4 month base. So building up some power there. This could have been alerted. This volume day came in. I really don't like that it trades around 300,000 per day, but this day did 1 million. So this isn't like the best trade, but just like I like that it's basing. I like that there's above average volume. This would be great if this was more like 3 million shares a day, because it was doing like 35,000. But so still doing 10 times this normal volume. That's a sign to pay attention. Then when we get above yesterday's high, there's really not a chance to enter here, but just this is something about when it's like not good to buy, right? We do get above yesterday's high, but we also go straight up 20% by 10:30, and 10:30 reversal is a powerful time. So you got to be paying attention for intraday trend changes around like 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. That's usually when they happen. So this is a good thing about like, hey, we had a setup, a decent setup. Volume's not so good, but the price action is there. The setup is there. The trigger is there. And then when intraday price action doesn't match up, it's a good thing. That shows us that we don't want to trade that. So my top 2 ideas for tomorrow, or for today, it was about to open in 23 minutes. Would be SHOP. Would be number 1 for sure. So what's the big picture here? SHOP is a tech company. We've been going just higher highs, higher low, long-term uptrend. It's a real company. So gap to all-time highs or potential exhaustion gap here, but it's just one piece of evidence. So we gap up to all-time highs, go up and close way down from the all-time highs on high volume. So as we start approaching the new all-time highs, we break out, holding higher, but not really, kind of these couple overlapping days. And then once we get below this low, volume starts to come in here. Volume comes in this narrow range doji day. So I've got alerts set either way of this, but it's kind of a little weakness in the background considering this day, considering we didn't continue higher up here, and volume started to come in as we started heading back lower. So a couple overlapping days. This prior day was this inside day. The prior day was the doji. So did we actually break out? And we didn't break out of the prior day's high, right? So inside day. So if we get above, Friday's high or yesterday's low or Friday's low, definitely paying attention, have alerts set at both of those places. So just making sure they're in, because I have not been good at setting alert lately. Last one is Omer. So biotech, penny stock, kind of been going sideways for the past like 52 weeks, but we're just hovering below 52-week highs. Volumes come in. We did zoom to the level, but we were holding just beneath that level, still in the top 90% of this move. Or you can call it 80%. So top 80% of this move. Volume is still above average. So basically, what we're looking for is, just kind of a move above these 52-week highs. We kind of have an intraday level. This prior, 16, but call it $16 really. That level, so really that's the level I'm looking to play for. The 52-week highs are just above, so we'll mark those. When you're uptrending, it's okay to kind of ride the Keltner band a bit more. Not terribly overextended. We haven't had a change of character move yet, so if price zoomed back down from this day on Friday, that would have been cause for pause. But Still just kind of holding higher. So if we continue higher, that would be good. Looks like we're slated to open lower, which would be nice stuff to buy. So if volume comes in, we open lower, and then make higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Be looking to buy that second pullback. Or price opens lower, goes up, comes back to Monday's high, prior resistance becomes support entry. Or if we just go sideways, go up and then just kind of hold sideways for maybe like an hour, and then get above the intraday high, might buy the first flag above the intraday opening range high. All right, that's it for today. Later.